Hello students, welcome to the session. I am Mr. M.H. Mota, Assistant Professor, Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering. Today's session is on population forecasting. The outcome of this session. At the end of this session, you will be in a position to estimate the future population using various methods of population forecasting. Before starting, please try to understand some facts. Water supply and sanitation is treated as a state subject as per the Federal Constitution of India, and therefore the states are provided with the constitutional right on the planning, implementation and cost recovery of water supply and sanitation projects. The Public Health Engineering Department, or PHED, is the principal agency at the state level for planning and implementation of water supply and sanitation programs. In number of states, statutory water supply and sanitation boards have taken over the function of these public health engineering departments. The basic objectives for creation of these boards have been to bring the concept of commercialization in the water supply and sanitation sector management and more accountability. Such boards have been set up in Assam, Bihar, Gujarat, Karnataka, Kerala, Maharashtra, Orissa, Punjab, UP and Tamil Nadu. The metropolitan cities of Bangalore, Hyderabad and Chennai have their separate boards. The objective of public protected water supply is to supply safe and clean water in adequate quantity, conveniently and economically as possible. The water to be handled may vary both in quantity and quality, and the degree of treatment required seasonally, monthly, daily and sometimes even hourly. Water supply management aims to improve the supply by minimizing losses and wastage and unaccounted for water in the transmission mains and distribution system. The water supply projects may be designed normally to meet the requirements over a 30-year project. This period may vary in between 20 to 40 years, but 30 year is most commonly adopted requirement. After their completion, the time lag between design and completion of the project should also be taken into account, which should not exceed 2 to 5 years. The design population will have to be estimated with due regards to all the factors governing the future growth and development of the area in industrial, commercial, educational, social and administrative spheres. Special factors causing sudden emigration or influx of population should also be foreseen to the possible extent. The judgment based on these factors would help in selecting the most suitable method of deriving the probable trend of the population growth in the area of project. Now we will try to understand what is population forecasting. The population forecasting is nothing but estimating the possible population after a certain duration. The design of water supply and sanitation scheme is based on the projected population of a particular city estimated for the design period. This design period is nothing but the period equivalent to the amount for which this particular system should remain functional without any modification in terms of quantity or quality. Any underestimated value will make system inadequate for the purpose intended. Similarly, overestimated value will make it costly. So factors affecting the change in population are increase due to birth, decrease due to death, and increase or decrease due to migration. The present and past population records for the city can be obtained from the census population records. After collecting these population figures, the population at the end of design period, which is generally 30 years, is predicted using various methods as suitable for that city, considering the growth pattern followed or shown by that city. We'll try to understand that in more depth in coming slides. So different methods of population forecasting includes arithmetic increase method, geometric increase method, incremental increase method, decrease rate of increase method, simple graphical method, comparative graphical method, the master plan method or zoning method, and logistic curve method. So we'll start with arithmetic increase method. In this method, average rate of increase in population is assumed to be constant from decade to decade. Average increase per decade is found out from previously available census data. Mathematically, that can be represented as Pn equals to P plus N into D, where Pn is the future population after n number of decades. Decade is nothing but a span of 10 years. So, say 3 decades means a 30-year period. P represents the present population, N is the number of decades, and D is the average increase per decade. If we assume that a present population of a certain city is 10 lakh, and from past data, if it has shown the increase of 2.5 lakh population per 10 year, so after 30 years, the total population will be 10 lakh plus 3 times the 2.5 lakh, so which will be equivalent to 17.5 lakh. So this is the simplest method which is used to forecast the population. Second is geometric increase method. In this method, average percent increase in population is assumed to be constant from decade to decade. Instead of a figure of population, it is estimated in terms of percentage increase in the population. Average percent increase per decade is found out from the previously available census data. By using the formula, the future population is worked out. So mathematically, using this formula, we can say that Pn equals to P in bracket 1 plus R by 100 bracket raised to n, where Pn is the future population after n decades, P is the present population, N is the number of decades, and R is the average percent increase per decade. We will try to understand this with once again a simple figure, that suppose the present population is 10 lakh and past data had shown that the increase in population is 25% per 10 year. Then after 30 years, we can work out the population like 10 lakh multiplied by in bracket 1 plus R upon 100, which will be 0.25 bracket raised to 3 after 30 years, so value of N will be 3, and using this we can work out the population as 19.53 lakh. So accordingly the calculations are done. Incremental increase method. The advantages of both arithmetic increase method and geometric increase method are included in this method. Average increase per decade is found out first by all, and average percent increase per decade is worked out as in arithmetic increase method and geometric increase method respectively. So mathematically we can calculate the future population as P plus ND plus in bracket N upon N plus 1 upon 2 bracket multiplied by T, in which Pn represents the future population after n number of decades, P represents the present population, T is the average incremental increase per decade, and D represents the average increase in population per decade. Next is decrease rate of growth method. It has been seen that all life grow within limited space. If the complete growth of a very old city is plotted, it will be seen that the curve has S shape, which indicates that early growth takes place at an increasing rate and later growth is decrease, which indicates the saturation of the population growth. In this method, The average decrease in the percent increase is worked out and is then subtracted from the latest percentage increase for each successive decade. Next is graphical method. So this is a method in which we use a simple graph to represent the population. In this method, the population of last few decades are correctly plotted to a suitable scale on a graph. The population curve is smoothly extended for getting future population. This extension should be done very carefully and it requires a proper experience and judgment. This particular thing can be understood by the following graph, in which on the horizontal axis we can plot the time and on the vertical axis we can plot the population. We can plot the data on this and then we will extend this graph in the nature it has been shown, and after a particular duration we can estimate the exact population. Next is comparative graphical method. In this method, the population data of project is plotted along with the past population data of number of towns or cities which have grown under the very similar conditions. The curve of the city under consideration is extended carefully after studying the pattern of other cities. Next is master zone method or zoning method. The development of town and cities is not allowed in haphazard way. For the development of towns and cities, their master plans are generally prepared by town planning department. The city is divided into various zones such as commercial centers, industrial areas, residential area, the schools, colleges, parks, etc. The future expansion of city is strictly regulated by various bylaws of corporation and other local bodies according to the master plan. The master plans are prepared for the development for the cities for next 25 to 30 years. The population densities for various zones of the towns to be developed are also fixed in these master plans. Population density is a number which represents the number of occupants or peoples possibly available in a unit area. Now, when the population of a particular zone is fixed, it is easy to design the water supply schemes for the particular zone. The future development of the water work is also designed on the basis of master plan. This table represents the possible population densities according to the type of area developed. So, as far as the residential area is concerned, for large lots of single family residence, the population density is in a range of 10 to 40 persons per hectare. Small lots of single family residence represents the density of 40 to 90 persons per hectare. In multiple family quarters, this number varies in between 90 to 250, while tenement houses represents the possible presence of 250 to 3500 persons per hectare. In commercial area, the possible population density is in a range of 40 to 75 persons per hectare. In industrial area, that number is in a range of 10 to 40. So, while knowing the population density and knowing the exact area under consideration, we can easily forecast the population of a concerned area. Next is logistic curve method. It is a modern method of the population forecasting where the population data of the past is analyzed critically, generally by the software, and the forecasting is done. Mathematically, the solution is obtained using the relation as shown below. So it is log PS minus P upon P minus log PS minus PY upon PY, which is considered to be equivalent to the negative of KPST. The meaning of different terms are as follows. The PS is the saturation population or the maximum possible population of an area under consideration. PY represents the population at the starting or the current population. P represents the population at any time t, while K is a constant. This particular figure represents the logistic curve, which is generally a S-shaped curve, and it is supposed to be one of the most reliable method for the population forecasting, which considers all past population data and also includes the concepts like the saturation of the population. So, selection of the method. As we have seen, there are number of methods. It is very difficult job to decide which method needs to be used. So generally, arithmetical increase method is suitable for old and large city where the population growth is generally linear. Geometric increase method or incremental increase method is suitable for newly developing cities where the growth rate is more because of its growth pattern and large amount of increase is expected because of the possible migration due to the development. Here the migration is addition of population. Decreased rate of increase method is suitable for matured and well-developed cities which is approaching to the saturation in terms of growth potential, where there is no space or very limited space is available for accommodation of future population. Simple graphical method is suitable for developing towns where the development has a good potential to attract the people. Comparative graphical method is suitable for towns or cities which are showing the similar pattern in which the development of few towns in past has been observed. This is very useful method to find out the population for the satellite towns. Logistic curve method can be used for large cities where the generalization in any term is difficult to state and all possible patterns has to be considered for the forecasting of population. So don't forget, please remember that the suitability of each method is to be determined very critically. Care has to be taken while selecting any method for the forecasting in any given case. The trend of increase in the population shown by city under consideration can be the most suitable way to take decision to implement any method for forecasting the population. Whatever past trend shown can be an ideal thing to understand under which pattern the city is growing, and accordingly even one can take the decision. This particular table represents the certain assumptions regarding the design periods which are very essential for the designing of various components for water treatment systems. According to this, any dams has to be considered the design period equivalent to 50. It means that the dam should be capable to store a water which will be the need after 50 years too. So accordingly, the infiltration work has a 30 years of design period. The pump house civil work has got 30 years of design period, while the associated electrical motors and pumps has got a design period of 15 years. The lesser design period is assumed because the life of such motors are comparatively lesser than the civil work. So pump house should be large enough to accommodate the requirement of 30 years, while electrical motors and pumps placed inside this should have a design period of 15 years. After 15 years, you can once again use the different electrical motors and increase number of pumps to fulfill the needs. Water treatment units are designed for the 15 years. Pipe connections to several treatment units and other small appurtenances has got a design period of 30 years. Raw water and clear water conveying mains should have a life of 30 years. The clear water reservoirs at the head works, balancing tanks and service reservoirs should designed by considering a design period of 15 years, while distribution system should be designed to capable to handle a flow up to 30 years. So that's it for the session. Let's meet in the next session to learn more about such things. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. And don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.